be good. Oop, no. Okie dokie. Make sure that all my settings are correct. Okay, that is correct. And let's make sure that this is correct. Yes, okay, that shouldn't. Okay. Hello. Howdy, howdy. I'll just pop out the chat so it's easy for me to see. There we go. For 1 a.m. Oh, it's 11 for me. There we go. Let's get some of the music playing. So I'll be a bit quiet at the moment because just waiting for my compatriots to come in. Might as well set up while I'm at it. Yeah. Carving away at her here. She's gonna be my scale ref. It's not solo. Tracy's just, she'll be in later. Good morning. It's just me for right now. That's all. Oops. Are you allowed to ask stupid questions? As long as you're prepared for stupid answers. Morning. Armitage saying, thank you very much for the donation. Says, a bit random, but I live close to the Hershey AACA and Dillsburg Racing Museum, as well as work on slightly newer hot rods. If you need specific info, pics, or on period cards, I'd be happy to oblige. Well, thank you. Right now we're covered, but you know, who knows in the future. Hey.
I'm here now.
Hey, Kaz.
Hey. June was saying, oh, Fable's in there all by themselves. And I was all like, I'll be in there in a minute. And they're like, Fable. So I was like, okay, I'll go in there. My YouTube is actually acting silly.
they saying? Seen the first 2 volumes of Lackadaisy, now I need to find the third, at least in English. It's all available on lackadaisy.com. So the third volume is in progress. Yeah. How would people in the Lackadaisy universe react to humans? If Tracy's comics are anything to go by, they think we're all, like, some kind of marmoset. Right, that's right. Hello.
Oh.
Who's that? It's Sam. Hey, Sam.
Hi.
Sam.
Hmm.
I'm doing an animate.
It looks very nice.
It's going places. I'd already done some work before, but I was like, I need this to read a little bit more organically.
Mitzi.
Oh my god, I can't believe Mitzi's actually walking down the stairs.
This is crazy, you guys.
Walking down the
Bro,
stairs towards camera. It has to act.
We've never seen this type of stuff before, guys. A cat character walking down the stairs, absolutely wild. We told Mitzi to go walk down the stairs, and she actually did it. The actual mad lad.
Yeah.
Does Quincy walk down the stairs or race down the stairs?
Runs up and down the stairs on all fours.
Wait, down?
That's the best way.
Head over heels down the stairs. Do you ever just cartwheel down the stairs? Just to show dominance?
No, but I Oh, yeah, me falling down the stairs is just me showing how much stronger I am than you are.
Yeah. Real alphas cartwheel down the stairs head first.
Sigma
alpha
males
males.
only.
I'm sorry, but you beta males who walk down the stairs all normally will never understand the actual scars and damages of
Sigma
falling down the
males walk
stairs.
down the stairs on their hands, like a handstand.
I love all these new genders.
This.
Apparently the the men's side of the internet wants to get in on the gender action, and it's like, wait, we could go further, guys. What if
Katie, don't go saying I am-
degrees of man even?
Look at Toon. Toon kept saying, Fable's all won't woo, and I was like, I guess I'll go see what they're up to after 3 times of them saying, but Fable's so lonely right now. I was all like, fine.
I'm good. I'm animating. When I'm animating, I'm just concentrating. So
have fun with the cool kids, I guess. Katie. No, look at Toon. It was Toon who said it. Look at Toon. Toon was like grabbing me and peer pressuring me, saying, if you don't go in there, I'll. And then they looked at me.
They looked at you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's fucked up.
This just gives me more reason to. So. That's not even. I almost read that. No. Someone said, walk down the stairs putting all of your weight on the ankles. Hashtags.
Yeah.
Sigma grind set.
This.
A human! Why'd you send that to me? Human literally just started yelling in my DM saying a human. By the way, Sam, I have a friend in there named Tomb, also by the known as Grave Driver, who loves being told that they are a little pog champ by Mordecai.
Oh.
okay, this
Little
is way
pog
too.
champ. Mordecai is my little pog champ. Because he looks like my cat.
No, I didn't. Tomb did say that. You said that before I left here. You said, Kaz, before you leave, I want you to know that Mordecai said, Mordecai, I just said they're alone. They are alone. No, Katie, stop. What? What is this? Oh, why'd you kick me? Sam, I'm being attacked.
Whoa. Where?
In my DMs, man.
You gotta run.
I draw a bunch of characters instead of outfits, and this is the respect I get.
Hey,
This
the
is the respect you deserve. If you draw these characters in their outfits.
You're cruel.
Fable, but I drew all the characters in the really cool outfits. Doesn't that mean anything? In the
Fable, you're also culpable in outfit.
It's what I deserve. I deserve punishment.
Why am
I crave punishment.
What? Why am I being... Now I'm being held like a cheeseburger. This is completely different. Why am I the one being attacked here? I'm innocent.
Completely innocent Kaz. Never did anything wrong. Nope.
Yeah, bleep over here. I still remember that time where you asked Ashley, what did she do now? And I put the little innocent faces and she screams everything.
Still don't know what you did.
I forgot what I did. I do so many things.
You do.
Guilty until proven innocent. I'm like, yeah, you have. Listen, no, I did.
She's going down the stairs too fast. She looks like she's hurrying. So I gotta, like, put some spacers there.
Katie says, actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but all the horrible things I do are offerings to Fable.
Offerings.
Yeah. Such as, I don't know, Zib looking longer than usual.
From Katie? Good.
Yeah. Like, they drew the best Adam Sandler yesterday.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah. You know, an actor.
No, I know of him.
No, I know.
Who is Adam Sandler?
It's Adam Andler.
So true.
The dude who was like the world famous guy who was in that one movie called what was it? Press? Click?
Click.
Adam Sandler, star of Click. And nothing else. There we go. 4's got it.
Might as well be.
Boom,
There's like a whole podcast dedicated.
What?
There's an entire podcast dedicated to just watching Click over and over and over again.
What?
Yes. It's called like
This sounds
called
evil.
like the best worst idea or something. It's yeah, so like it's just these group of people and they watch Click and
I just watched Click.
just for each episode of the podcast they watch Click and then they talk about it.
How many times can you
For a whole
watch and
last
talk about
season.
Click?
Yeah.
Would you guys like me to share the pictures that Katie has provided to me for you guys to look at?
Sorry about
There's a
not
bunch of...
here I'll be approving some of these. But shit, that wasn't. I'm gonna remove that one. Remove. That one is not. There we go. It's hard to mod at the
there are
same
some
time.
Zibs in here. Here you go, Sam. They're inside a streaming chat.
Let me give it a look.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa. Jurger. Why is Sans here? Did I miss something?
Why wouldn't he be there?
Good point. I like Jurger.
It's the way you said it, Jurger.
Jurger.
Why is Sans there? Did I miss something?
I'm genuinely asking.
Oh. We were talking about how we didn't like most of the human versions of Sans because all of them were always these anime boys. So they started angrily drawing Sans as anime, and then that bottom picture is Adam Sandler supposed to be anime, but they said Adam Sandler.
I think that if Sans was a human person, he would look like TJ from Recess. This guy.
Oh my god. He's supposed to look like Ness, you know, from Motherbound or whatever that game was.
Motherbound.
Is that not what it's called?
Motherbound, Earthbound.
Yeah, that.
It's also called.
God.
There's like a sequel called Mother or something, right?
Mother
or is
3.
Earthbound the sequel?
It's Mother in Japan, but I think Mother 1 and 2 are Earthbound in America, and then it's Mother 1, 2, and 3 in Japan. I think.
Ooh, bless you. Katie said Mitzi, my beloved.
Yeah, this.
Alright, now it's starting to get the rhythm I want.
That looks nice.
Looks amazing.
She has her little hip sachet.
Yeah, she needs to wiggle that butt. It's very important. Hey, Tracy.
It's Tracy.
Hello.
My mom's vacuuming. I will mute.
Sorry to start without you. You had mentioned earlier
that's all right.
that was fine, so I figured rather than having you worry, I just could kick it off. It's like, I can handle it the first
fine.
all, but...
Yeah. Okay. I just didn't want to strand you here.
Oh, no. In fact, Kaz was specifically summoned to keep me company by,
okay.
by Toonby, I think, so... And then
Someone was yelling at me and pointing a very, very destructive, like,
they didn't want me to be
explosive
alone.
bubble gum at me, and they're all like, Fable's all alone, cats. If we don't go, I'm gonna shoot bubbles at you. I'm like, oh god! And then I was here. And then Katie started kicking me.
Thank you
Everyone
for
literally
coming to the rescue.
kicking me up.
My hero.
Yep, all it takes is just my friends grabbing me and, like, throttling me everywhere and throwing me into the stream, and then I'm all like, yeah, okay.
I swear somebody owes me a lollipop for both character walking 3/4 from behind, in perspective while acting note, and then the other note, what I did yesterday were character running, sharply changing directions, and then climbing up a hill.
And then turning into a cat.
Yeah. And then this one, which is character doing their acting beats while walking down the stairs.
Acting on her way down the stairs.
Yeah. I'm just giving myself all the hardest things to do.
You love the challenge.
Fable, when you have the chance, not Fable, sorry. Freaking, sorry, I called your name. Tomb, when you have the chance, try refreshing. You're a little seconds behind.
Hey everyone. Dizzy says, how are you? I'm okay. I exist. How are you? I am marathoning art this weekend. I'm sore and tired. I have a very large queue to get through, and I need to get back
Here,
to...
Tracy, sit in my pocket.
Okay. I might fall asleep, but...
I mean, that's fine. Just don't mind the dead bodies in there that I forgot to take out.
Oh, no. Wait, you're keeping dead bodies in your pockets?
I didn't mean to.
Bodies of
when
what?
you grab a bug and you put it in...
You grab a bug and you put bugs in your pockets? Wait a minute.
No, I'm saying that if when you catch bugs, you forget to let them out.
Oh. Okay.
I've had dog treats in my pockets I forgot about.
Can you hand them over? I got a Tracy to feed.
With dog treats? Are you feeding the bugs in your pocket on the off chance they might be alive? Yes, I am owed lollipops for this. These are hard shots. Like these, I had to give notes to the animators for the 2 other shots that I was talking about. Like this one's just done by me, but the other ones, I was like, I had to give the animators notes, and for the the running and turning, climbing up the hill, I was just like, fuck it, and just animated a stick figure for them. Because I was like, let's just not have you think hard on this, because this is really hard. This is like, let's just make this more efficient.
Let's get silly with it. Also, Spooky Linguine, he says, oh yeah, Tracy, a few people on the server today have been posting the drawings you sent them. They look great.
Oh, cool. Oh, good. I hope they're happy with them, yeah. I have been drawing a lot lately.
Yeah, there's no shortage of work.
I'm art machine the past month or so. Well, before that too, because I was doing all the Kickstarter backer art. And then I had to catch up on all the patron art. And then I have to catch up on all of the book art. And just finish that. I'm woefully behind, and I just can't keep up with everything right now. It's very frustrating.
So I had her before, like, standing there and kind of looking cool, and then as she was going down, fixing her hair, but I'm thinking here, I was like, nah, I want her to, like, take a breath before she goes down. It's like this, okay, here we go.
Someone's screaming that I will not I will not scream myself, but I will say, oh, that's some good animation there. Holy.
I suggest paying attention to the Kickstarter updates about the shot glasses. Unfortunately, there is a worldwide backup of everything.
Yeah, so you guys remember
Like,
the boat that was stuck?
Well, it's not just
It's
the boat.
part of
It
that,
actually,
but,
like,
yeah.
although the video that Spike linked said it was not COVID, it kind of still is COVID. It's just like a series of events leading off of
It's
that.
totally also
And also
COVID.
the Suez Canal. Yeah, that didn't help. And other factors. But supply chain has been greatly interrupted. This is a very weird time. But everything everywhere is screwed up. From like rental cars to lumber to printing to manufacturing to shipping. Everything is running behind. So
there's basically like the way that manufacturing and shipping works, guys, is that they try very, very hard to keep a minimum amount of things in storage at any given point. So they're just things are supposed to come in and come out with very little just sitting in warehouses at once. So there's never any like backup supply to stuff. It's part of like how manufacturing works nowadays, basically. As a result, when you have things like 2020 and etc. going on, when something suddenly interrupts that chain, it creates this weird like pile-on effect. It's as if you stopped a train on the tracks, and like all these cars, like all the railway cars behind the train start to like pile up. Or like in a traffic jam, you know, there's like one car stops and all the cars pile up. Now, the car that stopped could have been stopped for like as little as like maybe like 15-20 minutes. But it'll take hours for traffic to catch up and like get back to normal because one car stopped. And if you have multiple cars stop, then it gets worse and worse. So because it just takes that long for everything to like to respond to the forward motion of the other thing, and that's assuming that that's the only thing that was the problem, was just somebody stopped and then it keeps going, which is one reason it's both the fault of the Suez Canal thing but also not, but that just exacerbated what was already a problem So across the board for like everything, unless its production and manufacture is like in roughly the same spot, with very few or no outside materials, anything that involves international shipping whatsoever is taking a long time.
Yeah.
And frick, even national, like, remember when the we were having issues with the USPS for a while,
Yep.
and so, like, everything was backed up there, too.
That's, yeah,
So,
still not fully resolved.
Yeah. So,
although it appears the art I sent out got there pretty fast, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, we can't, there's just nothing we can do about it but sit and wait. We can't, there's no phone calls we can make. Like, we don't have, not even, like, these major retailers and things can do anything about this. Like, we just have no power over it. And I'm sorry about that. We couldn't foresee this. Like, we knew 2020, as we were designing shot glasses, we knew 2020 was weird and bad, and but we didn't know...
the degree to which was just...
Yeah.
It's like you do plan around some kind of fuckery going on. Like, you plan for that, but the amount of what the heck is just so unprecedented that there's nothing that you could refer to beforehand to match to this.
Right.
Like, if the nearest thing you
so
can refer to is the Spanish flu, and that's before, the modern
before our
shipping and
grandparents'
manufacturing
generation,
industry.
even. Yeah, like, we don't have any really...
As a
first-person
model,
frame
it
of
only,
reference.
like, is only so helpful, so...
International trade was in a different state at that time. There really is no comparison.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, so we thought we were being generous and giving ourselves plenty of time by being like, oh yeah, they'll ship May, June.
Yeah.
But we were
and it
not,
would have,
as it
if
turned
not
out.
for,
we
didn't just forget, nobody
yeah.
realized. It was like,
No,
oh crap, there's no shipping containers right now. Damn. Like, what do you do about
Right.
that? If there's no shipping containers available to ship things with.
Right.
It's
you
like,
can't
imagine
ship
if there was no
things.
packaging materials. There was no boxes, no tape.
If you can't put them in something, you can't just, like, put them in the ocean and let them float overseas. You have to, like...
We should just go back to pigeon delivery. We'll just stick them to... Look, we get some pelicans, and we put the shot glasses in the pelicans' beaks, and then they just fly across the ocean. That'll take care of it. Right?
Can we just fling them? Can we just throw them really hard?
Yeah, let's get a catapult.
Like a frisbee.
Yeah. Really, really big catapult.
Make a raft out of them.
What if we got a rail gun? That would go really far, really fast. Extra fast.
Anyway,
faster even.
Yeah. Really apologize for that, but again, it's like I feel sheepish about it, but at the same time, there is absolutely nothing we can do about it, and it's affecting everyone everywhere across the world. So it's like we shouldn't apologize, but we just couldn't tell this was going to happen, and it sucks. And if you have like if you need to refund or something, reach out. We'll take care of you. We were real proud of ourselves for selling through all of them, and then blah.
If you're willing to wait like another month or two, it will get to you. Like,
right, and
it's coming.
Yeah.
It's just they've all been made. They are constructed. It's just kind of we're waiting on that stuff basically. So it's like, ah, dang.
Right, before anyone says, "Oh, you're just like, did you actually even make them and stuff?" Like, here's
we absolutely
got
made
lots
them.
of photos.
Yeah. Did we just get some new photos yet?
I don't think Spike included new photos in the...
No, it was Nick who...
Oh, Nick sent some.
Well, I know he was planning to give us some new photos, so...
Are you kidding me? Images.
I don't know if the new photos were in the Kickstarter update or not.
I don't think so. Let me check.
Be right back.
I remember when the boat got stuck. I was like, haha, boat stuck. And then I was like, I'm going to feel real sheepish about this later. I just know it. Because this is like, boat stuck, lol. It turns into, oh, wait, my business, though. Oh, damn it. I'm an adult who has to concern myself with international affairs on a personal level. That's not just
by
friends.
a long shot, though. It's not just the boat.
No, but it's not just the boat, but it just seeing the boat get stuck, I was like...
it was certainly emblematic.
I was like, uh-oh.
Things to come.
Yeah. The boat just left the Suez Canal, apparently. They were in some kind of legal dispute. I imagine there was considerable dispute.
The boat was there for that long?
Well, they had...
A minute, yeah.
Yeah, it had been fished out of its precarious spot, but it had just been, like, sitting there, I guess, for whatever legal purposes they needed to sort out. They didn't, like, leave it blocking the thing.
Yeah.
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 I didn't know it was still there.
No.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Link Command says, cannot wait for a finished product. Your animation is beautiful. Huh. I hope you will enjoy it. I can't take credit for the animation here. This is Fable working on this.
I'm gonna make Kurt go swish.
So true.
It occurs to me that I haven't actually animated a whole lot of women. It's funny, usually when I animate something very femmy, it's usually a guy. I do like doing swishy dudes.
Swishy dudes.
Swishy dudes are great. More dudes need to swish. It's like, I don't care what your sexuality is. Please swish more. Look,
Swish is a section.
work it, boy.
Swish is a gender.
Swishy. Yes.
Vib go swish.
Boys who swoop.
So true.
Let the 2020s be the decade of swishy boys. Please.
The swooshing 20s.
Sounds better than the screaming 20s, which is what it has been so far.
That's, yeah, I coined that one. I'm proud of that. I'm gonna claim this one. I'm gonna be constantly like, I named it that. I want it to become popular, and then I get to say, yeah, that was me. I'm that asshole. Aaron Kennedy says, I was about to say, enter my flamboyant and constantly dancing ass. Yes. Did Kaz said, did you show Tracy and Fable Zib? Yes. Kaz has
There are
delivered
plenty
us
of
the bad Zibs.
The good Zibs. These are good Zibs. Tracy, look inside our streaming chat. He's holding on to a jerker.
A jerker.
Sam, you're responsible for this, Sam.
A jerker. Oh,
You're
a jerker.
responsible
Yes.
for the Jidum frenzy.
Well, me and Jack, I think, can take dual responsibility here.
And then I drew
You
a bunch of the characters
stockpile
in their
them.
outfits.
No, Jack did.
Jack
Yeah, Jack was
stockpile
the
them.
one who came.
Damn it.
Yeah, Jack came to me when I was sitting in Lackcord one day, and they said, "Hey, Kaz, do you want more of the items?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, man."
That's crew solidarity right there.
I don't know what's happening here, but I love it. What is this? Colonel Sandler?
We've taken your beautiful boy and ruined him.
Look, listen.
Saga.
So let me explain to you these drawings. So that Colonel Sandler, we were trying to say Colonel Sanders and Adam Sandler. And we turned to Colonel Sandler. So it turned into Adam Sandler's anime head holding on to the remote from Click, being also wearing a sandal and holding on to KFC.
Sans is there?
Sans is there because we were talking about how we didn't like most of the like the human adaptations of Sans as a skinny anime white boy character.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about why does he look like this? What is his hair? That they have his eyes. We're thinking about funny bone haha Joker man, and they drew Sans up there. And we were talking about how his head looked like the shape of a peanut. The arrows pointing at Sans, I have no idea. But the Lazaga was because the zip right there at the top left right corner looks like Garfield.
I see.
It definitely does, yeah.
I saw a trailer for the new
Always
Space Jam
Mystique,
yesterday,
no.
and Austin
Yep.
Powers showed up in the middle of it, and it took me completely off guard.
I feel like they're getting pretty far away from what Space Jam was about, which was the Looney Tunes
I was like,
playing basketball.
why the hell is Austin Powers here? He just showed up and was like, yeah, baby. And I was like, is Bugs Bunny not enough?
I kind of lost interest as soon as I realized that it was just going to be Warner Brothers does Ready Player One.
Ready Player One, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like, no,
my friend
you already
told me
did that. No.
That in Japan it's being called Space Players, and then the way it's being marketed is that it seemed like people in Japan think it's like a sequel to Ready Player One.
It could be at this rate.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's, you know what, I'll say this though, Space Jam was already like an amazing trash fire, so if the sequel is also an amazing trash fire, that's perfect. Then it is a true sequel to Space Jam.
Yeah, that is its legacy. Whenever it rained during recess, they would put Space Jam on, so I've seen it probably 30 times.
We should watch Space Jam on the server, it's been a hot minute.
So it's like it burned in my mind.
Yeah, I watched that a ton when it came out. I have the art book and everything. The making of
The art book. I was once, one place I lived at, apparently one of my neighbors worked on Space Jam. I could tell because he had a crew shirt or jacket. It was either a hat or a jacket, I forget which. And I was pulling out my car, I didn't usually chat with him, but I was like, oh, Space Jam, you worked on that? Yeah, me and my friends love that movie. He's like, oh yeah, it was awful. Production was hell. And apparently, I guess he'd been like one of the higher level people. Actually, it's like maybe one of the producers or something. I don't know. But he's I don't know, a producer, like one of some upper level guy, basically. And he said, yeah, it was just a goddamn shoe commercial that went too far. So that they were changing things constantly. He was not proud at all. And I was just like, you know what, fair.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam.
There's shit I've worked on that I wouldn't be necessarily super proud of, but I'm sure it's important to some kids somewhere. So I'm not necessarily gonna shit on stuff, but at the same time, they weren't fun to work on.
Yeah.
apparently the Jimmy Neutron crew has seen some shit too. I imagine, given that Jimmy
I
Neutron
believe
is one of
that.
the earlier CG cartoons to come out, that it was probably a minor nightmare every time shots came back.
Yeah.
And not because everything about it is horrifying, but but because I'm sure making corrections was probably a bit ass. Because it's like the way that 3D software worked back then was really not amazing.
Miserable.
It was pretty miserable. It's a lot better now than it used to be, but it was so obtuse and frustrating to work with that I just abandoned 3D altogether, even though one of my first animated shorts is a 3D short that I did when I was like 16 or something, as part of New York Film Academy course that I took.
Cool.
And they taught us 3D animation, and so I learned how to like do designs and boards and stuff, and it was a really good course. I appreciated taking it, but oh my god, Maya sucked so hard. Back then, you had to have plugins just to do basic shit. There was no edge loop select, for instance. You needed plugins that the teacher had to give us just to make it efficient to work with. It was, and everything broke all the time, for no reason. You're like, why did it break? I don't know, it corrupted. And every third file would corrupt, so you had to constantly save versions, because at any given point, your file would just corrupt, and then you didn't know what to do. So it was a nightmare.
Yeah, that sounds miserable.
Yeah. I remember, it corrupted so badly once that all my textures were lost, and I had to rebuild all of them. My damn dog that I built a quadruped model from scratch in, when was this? It was 2005 or 2006. Maya.
Oh, jeez.
Quadruped model from scratch. Ain't got no information besides, here's the biped model. What can we do to make this actually work? And, I ruined my hands. Ruined them. It was worth it, though. I had a good time. I learned a lot. I took the course knowing it would be really difficult and frustrating, because I was like, if I can put up with this, then I can put up with this as a career. I was trying to test myself, basically. I had an opportunity to, and I was like, that was miserable. I want to do more. Well, so a good way to get away from home for a little bit.
I did a 3D course when I was like 16 too. It was like an animation camp at Columbia College for 2 weeks. And that was fun, but it also made me go, yeah, I'd rather draw this.
Yeah. It was like a 4-week course in the summer. Yeah, dated CGI does have its own charm. So I think pretty much any cartoon with enough time can kind of be appreciated on its own, like, aesthetic level, because, like, once it's outside of the spectrum of stuff it's surrounded by, you can sometimes appreciate it for what it is versus...
You almost need, you need some distance, and then you can kind of see, like, what things it was reflecting. When you're like, in the midst of it, in the crux of it, it's hard to, like, understand where this is coming from sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember people hating on Fanboy and Chum Chum, and meanwhile I looked at it and I was like, I don't know, this is actually one of the more interesting looking CG cartoons I've seen, and it's definitely not any uglier than Jimmy Neutron with better textures, so... that's my opinion.
Hate how Fanboy and Chum Chum looked, but when it was on, I was like the age that I would be watching Nickelodeon, like 11 or 12, and I just hated it because I found it loud and annoying.
Same.
So I didn't
that was a lot
kid.
of cartoons, yeah. A lot of cartoons at the time, especially.
I didn't like it because it wasn't entertaining to me. It just seemed like loud equals funny. I'm not a huge fan of it.
And I was an annoying kid at the time. I was like a 6th grader, and even I don't this. But I don't hate how it looks necessarily.
The humor is
I'm not gonna say I
definitely
hate it. I'm just not
aimed pretty squarely at like 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like I hate it. I'm just not a huge fan of it. Like it's
Yeah.
off-putting. The colors are nice, but it's
You know what
the designs
show fucking scared me and
colors
still
were
scares me?
good, yeah.
Mr. Meaty.
Oh,
What's up?
Oh yeah,
Mr.
That was
Meaty.
that puppet show.
There's puppets.
Oh no, that was ugly. I hated that.
That scared the shit out of me, and it still scares the shit out of me. There's an episode where there's like a tapeworm, and then there's another episode where they like go to the future, and it's like an apocalypse. I don't fucking know, but everything about that show, when it came on, like a chill ran up my spine. I was like, oh god.
I just didn't like it, but you know, I would do anything that involved not watching it when it was on. I was like, this show is gross.
Sometimes I would leave it on, but
was,
usually I would change the channel. I was like,
I remember being scared of Pee-wee's Playhouse, also because I was pretty sure that his furniture was going to, like, murder him. I was like, that chair is going to eat him. You're going to sit on that chair, and the chair's mouth is right where your butt goes, which means it's definitely going to eat you, and it will be horrible.
My brother was terrified of Barney.
Who wouldn't?
Barney taught me how to make s'mores, so I'll give him credit for that.
No,
I was also scared of the Teletubbies because I didn't like the baby face.
They are creepy.
I was always a Blue's Clues girl, though.
No, I love Blue's Clues. I was blue for Halloween when I was like 4.
That's adorable.
I was too old for Blue's Clues when it came out, but I really liked Arthur, and I would still sit down and watch Arthur because Arthur is good.
I was a little girl, and I had a brown bob cut hair, and so I got bullied by people calling me DW.
Oh,
so
no.
it made me de facto dislike Arthur. Mostly my brother would do this.
It's really good.
It's funny as hell, but when I was a little kid, my brother would say, "Shut up, DW," and it would get me so mad.
And that's when you beat him up, right?
I was like, "I'm not DW." Because I also didn't like DW. I thought she was mean.
Yeah.
She was 4, so...
And I was 5.
Yeah. It was like, grown-ass adults hating on DW makes no sense. It's like, she's 4.
No, I don't hate DW now. Now she's funny as hell, but when...
Oh god, yeah. DW is like, this child is brilliant. Holy shit, I hope she becomes president.
It was
DW for president.
I had a little DW toy, too. I think, but...
Aw.
I think my parents... it was like a plushie, and its hair was
Okay, but okay, look. So hear me out. We're not allowed to hate DW. Fine. Caillou, though.
Caillou sucked. Dude,
I have been blessed with
friends,
never having watched Caillou.
My friend's dad hated Caillou so much that when my friend was a little kid, to get them to not watch Caillou, he told them that Caillou was evil. They kept Caillou on the screen to kill that.
What?
Sorry, you got cut off.
Oh, he told my friend he hated Caillou, like, when it was on. My friend's dad. He thought it was really, really irritating. So he told my friend and her twin when they were little that if they put Caillou on, that Caillou was evil, and if he was on the TV for too long, he would, like, come out and, like, kill him. To get them to not watch Caillou. Because
oh my goodness.
mean.
Like, I'm sitting here, like, I understand kids can be annoying, but Caillou was a whole entire level of shut the heck
Caillou's
up,
just
dude.
kind of a brat in the show. Like, they write that child to be not likable.
I'm glad it stopped airing, though.
And also
so
just kind of
annoyed by his
irritating.
voice.
He just whined all the time.
Yeah.
I never watched
And it made
Caillou,
my-
so I have missed
made my
all of the
friend-
Caillou-nesses. Thank
It made my
goodness.
friend terrified of Caillou.
Like, some people, like, I don't know if it was, like, true or not, but some people even mentioned, like, their kids start thinking it was okay to behave that way because Caillou did.
Mm.
I like
there was no
Dragon
life
Tales.
lessons. Yeah, ooh, yes. I like that show.
I like
that
Dragon Tales, and I liked Ready, Set, Learn with the little penguin.
I like Backyardigans.
Ooh, Backyardigans. Yeah, I like Backyardigans.
Yeah.
This is the point at which I realized that I'm too old. Because all these things came out when I was, like, in
Yeah, these are
teenager
yeah.
or in
I
college.
was like
Definitely was not watching that shit
Yeah,
anymore.
peripherally aware of their existence. Well, I knew Arthur.
I
watched
missed
Lazy
all
Town.
of Paw Patrol,
all those other
which I
ones.
know
Yeah.
kids are nuts for now.
Oh yeah, my niece and nephew are into Paw Patrol.
I loved Lazy Town. Robbie Rotten.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
okay. I was a kid in like the 2000s, so all of those shows I
Lazy
watched.
Town is where that pirate song, right, came from?
Yes.
People
Pirate?
were nuts
Okay.
for that.
That was like a
Robbie
meme.
Rotten was like well loved.
I remember
Yes.
everybody was going nuts over Phineas and Ferb, and I mean that's an older
Okay, I
show
love
than what you
Phineas and
mentioned,
Ferb.
but I just never got into it, and people are like, it's brilliant, I love the music, and I'm like, I never got into it.
I love Phineas and Ferb. I listen to the
Yeah,
songs in Japanese. They bang.
Yeah, the thing is like I don't mind. Like if the show is on, I'll watch it, but I won't seek trying to watch it. 'Cause I'm not that really into it. I think that's me with almost a lot of episodes. Like depending on the show, I might sit down and binge it just because mind bubblegum. But yeah.
I was obsessed with Avatar, and when it started airing, I was in kindergarten, and I remember watching the premiere on Nick because they had this thing called U-Pick, and that's when they showed Avatar. And then the next day on the playground, everyone was playing Avatar. And I got to be Aang because I could run the fastest.
Nice.
I won.
Justification.
They were like, well, whoever, like, because everyone wanted to be Aang, and they were like, run the fastest can be Aang, and it was me, so.
Avatar was the first time that, well, I mean, Teen Titans was doing pretty good and sort of had anime-isms in it, but Avatar was the first, like, if you want to call it an American anime, where it's like, it's produced here, but it's like a collaboration with, well, Korean studio, really, but that Korean studio also did a lot of...
Well, a lot of anime studios outsourced to Korea, too.
Yeah, so it was the first, like, successful attempt at that, where it was like, it was that. It even had, like, some of the, I don't know if I want to say structure, per se, but the idea that one could do, like, a dramatic story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still pretty good.
Yeah. Because most, like, Teen Titans, as much as everybody lauds it as, like, oh, it was so serious and stuff, it really wasn't for most of its run. It wasn't really until, like, the last season or two that it got edgier. But it started off as, like, about as goofy as Teen Titans go, actually.
Yeah, it was just really stylistic.
And it had, like, a lot of, like, big anime head sweat drop kind of stuff.
I remember that.
It was a lot of that.
And they had a J-pop band do the opening.
Yeah.
I was really like Teen Titans as a kid. I was really into that. And I was into Foster's Home for Imaginary.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, that was cool too.
I met Craig McCracken once. I was like 14 or 15 because my dad's friend worked on the Mickey Mouse shorts at Disney. So he showed me around the TVA area, but he was just like, oh, Craig's in. Let's go into Craig's office. And I was like, Craig. And I walked in there and I was like, oh, it's Craig McCracken. And it was very awkward. Because I was not expecting it. I was scared. I mean, it was fine. But
cool.
He was like, oh, you like to draw? And I went, yeah, a little. And I got out of the So... that was a good impression.
That's extremely Craig McCracken. You like to draw? Yeah. Cool.
And then I left. I was like, I can't keep doing this, and I just left. Way too awkward. I was 15 though, so he probably didn't think much of it.
No, I doubt it mattered.
No. He's like friends with my dad's friend. My dad's friend worked on Powerpuff Girls with him. This was when he was working on Wander. So that was cool. I saw that stuff. And Gravity Falls was also on this. I saw all stuff.
You got something of a pedigree, Sam. Family background in animation, actually.
Well, my dad worked at Nick, but he was on the live action side, but he just, he knows a lot of people. And I toured Nickelodeon last year. COVID happened because his friend still works there. And it's the guy that I went to Disney with, now he's the assistant director on the Cuphead show.
Cool.
I also went there right before COVID to Netflix, and I saw some of the Cuphead stuff, and that was cool. It was funny, and all the art was very, very nice.
Right, I'm liking the rhythm of this shot now. It's getting places. It's going places.
You got in the groove?
It's got potential. She be sauntering down them steps, yo.
This is so true.
I'm definitely feeling a lot more confident about this than it was. So I got like a good framework now.
Nice.
What's my advice on lip syncing for animation? Here's something that I learned that I feel like a lot of people don't realize. Don't sync the mouth movement to the exact beat of the audio. Make the mouths appear a frame or two earlier, so that it feels like the image you're looking at is producing the sound. It's a really subtle thing, but it helps a ton. Like, if you actually sync up the audio exactly with the mouth movements, it will not feel correct. There's just something a bit off about it. And I think it's because we process the visual a lot faster than we process the audio. So if the audio and the visual match right frame to frame, it feels like the visual is delayed, even though it's not. So that's just something
I've gotten that advice too.
Yeah. Also, you really don't have to like draw every mouth motion. In fact, the simpler you make it, sometimes the better. It's like in the word apple, if you look in the mirror and look at what your mouth is actually doing when you say apple really fast, it is not apple. So don't lip sync to the spelling. Lip sync to the phonemes you hear, and because we actually speak in like chunks of words, not in individual letters. So that's one reason why you can outsource lip sync to places that don't speak your language, because they're paying attention to the sound, not like the word itself, which can cause issues sometimes. But like the fact that it's even possible says a lot. Yeah, I think the Smithy has a good swish. What you working on right now, Sam?
I'm just doodling. I have a little brain fart today, so I have to warm up first. Drawing Infinity Train characters.
Pretty.
Rashid says, I love this cat so much. These designs are so good. Thank you. Tracy did a good job. And then we had design concepts by Corvid Monster on Twitter, Ty. And then we've also, the character sheets were done by L. It's Shenanigans on Twitter.
Frosted, yeah.
L, yeah. Lee Frosted. Sorry, I was like, L, right. That's because the letter L.
First initial. Yeah.
Okay, I had to wake up very early today, so forgive me. And it's already getting hot. This stream won't go longer than another, 2 hours, I think, because it's getting hot, and my sunroom is not air-conditioned, and I have to take my siesta at that point and then eat some food. So, stream will not be for 8 hours, guys.
The weather does not permit.
No.
Lenali Visual Art says, any documentary on cartoons you recommend?
Sheesh, that's difficult. There was one about one of the few black animators at Disney for decades and decades and decades. He'd been there long enough that he's considered second generation Disney animator, which means he learned from the original masters. But he was a not well known dude. And then the documentary came out. I forget his name. Let me look it up. Floyd Norman. Yeah, that was his name. I met him briefly, or at least saw him briefly at a guild Christmas party. Yeah, he's a big deal.
It's cool.
There really weren't... They're just... Animation for a good long while has been basically white dudes.
A white boys club, yeah.
Yeah.
Very...
Deliberately, in a lot of cases, so...
they shut women out entirely, and I'm sure
shut out women, and it's not very friendly to anybody else then, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, Floyd's a really talented guy. It's a big deal. Hey Isaac, you doing okay? Is it getting toasty? Nico's fine. You okay, Isaac? Hi, baby. Hello, baby girl. They all seem fine, but her beak was a little bit open, so let's take a look at her. It's gonna get above 90 today. They can handle the heat, but you gotta keep an eye on them, make sure that their water doesn't evaporate too quick. They get a lot of, they're getting really heavy on the fruit right now, so that they eat enough liquid even. It is a bit humid in Los Angeles relative to usual, which means it's not very humid at all, but it definitely makes things feel a bit sticky.
Toon Kid says, any advice for future webcomic creators? Don't
think about it that hard.
No, just
selective
advice.
stupidity. Just don't overthink
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't spend years trying to get better at everything. Just start making comics. That's how you're going to get better, is by making comics. So there's a lot I say that because I know a lot of artists who've been I've got this my passion project I want to do, but before I do it I have to spend this much time learning this and this much time learning that, and I have to and it's no, just start doing it, because that's how you're gonna learn to do it. It's you don't have to necessarily start with your passion project or something. Also though, keep scope in mind, tailor your project around the kind of artist you are or creator you are. Don't try to bend yourself into something you're not. You're going to make yourself miserable that way. So if you're a person who's who only remains interested in something for, say, a year at most. Make the project something you can finish in a year. Or if you're, you have much shorter attention span, then do short vignettes. Don't do like a sprawling epic that's going to take you 12 years to draw. Because you'll just feel like you're failing all the time instead of working with your strengths. And I don't know, a lot of artists seem to think like they can just like force themselves to be something that is just anathema to them. And you're just like, making comics is hard enough. Don't torture yourself like that. Like there's nothing, like there's no right or wrong way to do it. Like a short comic is not better inherently, or a long comic's not inherently better than a short one or something like that. It's like a finished thing is better than something that's abandoned or never even gets onto paper at all or what have you. So like that's everybody's got ideas. The rarer thing is to actually like bring it to fruition. So if you do that, then you can pat yourself on the back, because whether it's a 10-page comic or a 300-page comic.
I can get with the first advice and just don't. I'm going to start right now.
If don't sounds like do to you, then go ahead.
Awesome.
If you can be discouraged by the phrase don't, then yeah, if you're that easily discouraged.
Yeah.
But basically,
No,
it's
I'm
hard work, and you need like a selective amount of like stupidity, and by which I mean active blinders.
Ignorance.
Ignorance serves you.
How hard it will be. However, it will also be rewarding in terribly surprising ways. Like it has been life-changing for me to have started a comic, and I am so thankful for it. And it is also the thing that dogs me and just makes my life a hell at intervals the most. So it's like it's the most wonderful, awful thing I've ever done.
I see comics as a way to be a writer also, if you're more of a if you think kind of more visually and like you can picture the scenes in your head, then you might find it worth it to explore comics as a way to develop that sensibility. I think that if you are getting into a storytelling field, that it might behoove you to explore sequential art in general, even very simply, even as like an assistive thing, because I definitely like the stuff that I've learned in comics has served me in boarding. It's like a way of exploring certain stuff.
Did we miss a question, Engrave? Something about cake.
I like cake sometimes.
So true.
I like chocolate.
Chocolate's pretty good.
I love chocolate.
Yeah, I like chocolate. I like milk and berries cake from Porto's.
I like lemon poppy seed too.
Lemon poppy seed muffin.
Yeah.
A component of your hardware requires an update to restore it to its operational state. Would you like to continue? What the fuck is this? Update device. What is that? 1 second. I'm gonna check this in case it's something nasty.
Aaron says, anyone familiar with
index.
Cucumber Quest? Yes, very. It is excellent.
I do not need to update my headset right now, no. To the person who's responding in emoticons, I guess I think Google doesn't like it when you just reply with emoticons, so
Yeah, be careful. Like there's YouTube
auto-flags
has
everything.
auto flag stuff, and it might, yeah, just not that you're necessarily doing anything wrong. Just
I don't know, unless there's something weird
Google
about posting a seal. If it's some kind of, I don't know the meme. If it's some kind of meme, or maybe it's just how this person chooses to communicate. I don't know.
Seal balloon
it's like,
I don't know what that means.
It's hieroglyphics. We'll have to figure it out.
Obviously, yes.
Toon Kid says,
OG
have you
writing.
experienced heat wave? Oh, many of them, yes.
It is warm. Oh, you're just bored and do this in random streams. Okay. Cool. As long as there's nothing inappropriate. God, sometimes it's kind of hard to keep up with. Like, the latest, like, bullshit is online.
Oh, hey, Ryan, thank you. Ryan asks, who would you say is your biggest inspiration to draw / animate? Not sure if you've answered this already.
God, usually my contemporaries, honestly. Like, the people that I follow who are in my peer zone are usually my sources of inspiration for a lot of stuff. Not like that the old folks aren't also, but my peers are who I talk to, and I can, like, see their influences and, like, what they're getting at and stuff. But I do, like, there's a lot of animators I really appreciate it. I mean, pretty much anybody gonna respect the was it 9 Old Men or whatever, the OG Disney Masters, their acolytes also. I really like Andrea Deja's work. Sergio Pablo. Everybody loves James Baxter, and for a good reason. But I haven't exactly, like, memorized literally every name. So... What if I start the tail over here, actually?
Katie says Milt Call, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the 9 Old Men. Suin224 says, guys, you are cool. I wish your project will be successful. Thank you.
We hope so too.
Tracy, oh my god, Tracy, you wouldn't believe... Oh, sorry. You guys answering a question, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say something dumb. Go ahead.
Tracy, you wouldn't believe it, dude. I got a hypothetical for you.
Uh-huh.
Alright. So you walk into, like, a bakery, and you have to choose a cake. What cake would you pick? Like, if you had to choose.
What cakes are available?
You have to pick which cake would you choose.
Am I ordering a cake, like a bespoke cake, or am I?
If you had, if I told you that your favorite cake was there, what would you grab?
I would grab whatever looked the most chocolatey.
Chocolate cakes.
A chocolate, like a Black Forest cake or something. With cherries on it.
Alright, thanks for completing my hypothetical.
Alright, perfect. Are you doing errands for Engrave, or?
No.
What was that?
I hit my hand.
Oh.
It hurt very bad. It's like on the, like, I don't know, right where the wrist is.
Oh.
When I brought it down. Yeah.
Hello, Rochio? Is it Rochio? Rachio? Apologies if I'm doing a bad job pronouncing your name, but hello in Argentina. Engrave plays innocent. Lost Unicorn says, I am simultaneously new and not new. What program are we using? This is Toon Boom.
Also, Toom's at work, so they can't do anything other than watch.
Okay. Sad Cat says, how do you think machine learning will change the animation pipeline in the future?
Hopefully make interpolation easier.
Yeah.
It would be really nice if you could have some auto interpolation to play with as a tool. That would be nice. Like, better and better interpolation is very handy for 2D artists. Because there's not really a good tool set for that right now. There's
still
some, but
requiring
they're not amazing.
Input, but
yeah.
But
do you think there'll ever be a button that just says animate this and it'll animate everything for you?
People have made those, they suck. Computers just don't understand how to make things move in any ways that are not the average of how something moves. Like, they're not gonna create a very interesting method of movement unless it's like entirely procedurally generated, and that is gonna be kind of questionable. Yeah.
Oh.
So, the other thing that would be good is AI-assisted coloring, where if you click on a spot on the face and you say, okay, this marking is right here on the face, and then you say, over here on this last key, the marking is over here on the face, and then it just goes, okay, I know exactly how this is pinned to the face then, and it can just fill everything in. That would be really, really time-saving. And Klaus actually used a lot of really awesome interpolation technology that could kind of get close to that, but it's not available to the general public right now. It's proprietary software. So, we're getting there. But yeah, if Klaus Tech became available to like the general public, that would be amazing. Klaus is a very well done film. I enjoyed watching it. I think it definitely pushed the idea of what you could do in 2D. To the point where it even covered up that it was 2D in a lot of spots. But I think, even though I'm not, like, personally a fan of how extremely rendered it was, I think that just doing that is a really good demonstration of what's possible, and that opens the floor for, like, a lot of other ways of exploring 2D. Including even what you don't want to do. So... Nope, Klaus is not 3D. Nope. I'm sure some elements might be, like, you know, rigid things like the cart and stuff, but...
I'm gonna head out, but I'll probably come back later.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Dragonflower says, Toon Kid asks, please pardon me for repeating this question. What is the hardest and easiest part of making a webcomic? Everything. Everything is the hardest part. I mean, it depends on what you're doing, but in my case, I guess... it also depends on what you mean by hardest. Like, the thing that requires the most, like, concentration and like brain power and often the most time is the writing, dialogue writing in general, writing story. Research can be very time consuming, although I usually find it fun. It's not something every comic requires if you're not doing like some kind of historical setting or what have you. Hardest in terms of like just elbow grease is the rendering each panel. Probably what I enjoy the most is drawing panels in pencil, because then I get to just indulge in drawing my goofy ass characters, but acting and moving around. But then when it comes time to add values and tones and effects and, you know, texture, and clean it all up and polish it, that's extremely time consuming, and usually I'm left with a aching hand after the fact. So page layout can be a challenge. I mean, I don't necessarily mean these are challenging in a bad way though either. It's like, if it's something you enjoy doing, it's like part of the fun is the challenge, and the fact that you kind of never, there's so many aspects to it, you never really feel bored. Even if you aren't feeling like doing one aspect of the comic, you can like do something different. If you just don't feel like drawing one day, you can go write, you can do thumbnails, whatever. You can do page layout thumbnails, or you can revise dialogue, whatever. You can research. Katie Francis says, writing is a nightmare with a big red heart. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody has like their own like favorite and least favorite parts. Like, I like writing. I like editing. I like roughing it out. I like the polish part. What I don't like is I don't like inking, and I don't like flats. I hate that. Those take up the most time to me, so...
Yeah.
I just want it to be done.
Fizzy Dizzy asks, did they teach you writing when you study animation in college?
They
teach you
didn't.
stories.
They did my course. I did have a writing for animation class that was effectively just like how to write a script. And hear tell from other students in the live action programs and stuff, the writing for animation program actually class actually might have been a better script writing class than what some of my peers experienced elsewhere. So, I mean, that class definitely taught me a lot about, like, why scripts are structured the way they are, and, like, understanding, like, writing and then how to inform how to take what you're doing and, like, translate into, like, a visual format, like, what you have to keep in mind. So.
Linali Visual Arts says, I'll say that 2D animation is only 2D animation if it's all done by hand with no computer used at all. I rather disagree.
Okay.
But okay.
That sounds like a troll statement to me.
That's bait.
Yeah.
I don't know.
2D animation
like,
you've seen lately is 2D animation.
Yeah, and
I think you mean traditional instead of 2D. Like you could potentially have an argument where the phrase traditional applies to specifically pencil on paper. You could have an argument. There's still like you'd have some problems with that argument given how old the stop motion is and how one of the first animated films was actually shadow puppetry. So no drawings at all. So what constitutes traditional then? Is it just like mediums that are X number of years old? 3D has been around for a lot longer than you realize also. Digital 2D has been along a lot longer than you realize. Like, the reason why the Xerox era ended is because of digital coloring became the standard. So yeah. Have I ever heard of or seen the show Kid Cosmic? Yes, I binged the entire thing. It was great. Highly recommend. Beautiful. ToonKit says, will there ever be a moment where stupid non-PG questions are allowed in a Lackadaisy stream? Well, people have asked certain things, and they get danced around in funny ways. So,
we aren't going to
choose to ignore those questions because I don't want to answer them.
We aren't.
Yeah, if you're talking about like measurements,
explicit,
you're not going to get an answer.
Nah, this ain't the place for it. Sorry.
Yeah, let that be fan material. The fans can have at that. How about that?
Yeah, you can go.
Let your imagination run wild.
Other people, but yeah, it's just not here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be straight up honest. No, I wouldn't. No. I'll talk about how good Zib looks in lipstick though. He looks good in lipstick.
I have my share of jokes, but
a little innuendo's fine. We aren't going to just like get into like, extremely adult content, because that just changes the entire
the vibe.
Yeah, just
May I ask Karen?
it'd be pretty out of step with what Lackadaisy is. Sorry, it's just it's not that. Like, there's plenty of furry stuff that is that, but this isn't one of those.
Also, Ghostly, have you seen him? Have you seen him and Mordecai? Those two, absolute freaking. Those two, perfect. Just great. Just they're idiots, both of them.
What are they talking about?
Why they asked me? Can they ask why Zib is so hot to me? And I'm like, well, just look at him. Like, you can't tell me that this face is not a face you just look at. Ask Katie.
Disasters.
I don't get it. Well,
because when you see a traffic accident and you have to slow down to look at it, well.
Well, think about it like this, Ghostly. How you look at girls? How I look at Zib. There, I don't know how else to explain it.
Respectfully.
What? Respectfully. Yeah, respectfully. How you look at girls? How I look at Zib. Me and Katie, we both share that. He's a traffic accident. Oh no.
I'm just gonna sit here and give like all the I'm very good at creating analogies and metaphors to destroy everything with.
Well, what is Mordecai? What is he?
Unavailable.
Thank you.
Ryan Artwell says, Tommy Wiseau. Anyway, how's your sex life? Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah. It's nothing against adult content, it's just that's not the focus of this specifically. Like, I'm down for the adult content. I got my own share of shit. But this ain't it. Figuring out what to do with her arms has kind of been the tough thing.
Which arm?
That said, I do want Mitzi to have like a certain kind of, you know, sensual nature here, because that is very her character. She's hot and she knows it.
Well, she just has a certain way of carrying herself, which is very
Definitely
flowy and
does,
femme.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it is something like when I think about like the characters, like how they regard themselves, absolutely how they regard themselves and how they want other people to view them will kind of inform how they carry themselves. So, percentage-wise, how much of this project is done so far? Hard to put a hard number on it, but we are through the majority of rough animation. Cleanup has been picking up steam. Comp is just getting started. And let's see, all the pre-production is done. There's bits and bobs of stuff that gotta get finished, but they're like stuff where it's like every time I just have to sit down and spend like an entire day doing the one thing. Like I had to finish TPLs for some of the background characters. I have to get my own animated shots done. We've had a lot of work come in, May and June in particular, because school wrapped. So, and a lot of our crew is actually still in school. So.
I hate it when my finger is itchy. How the hell am I supposed to scratch my finger?
Like when your knuckle is itchy?
No, like my legitimate pokey finger, the finger that you want to poke with, it for some reason on the side of it, it's super itchy, and I gotta be careful because like, it's just annoying. I'm like, I don't know where it's itchy at, but it's itchy somewhere there. With your other hand, oh, that way around, really. Thank you for telling me that. It's just like, it's one of those frustrating itches where like it feels like it's in one place, but it's not there when you scratch it. What advice do you have creating a character? For me, it's like my first fresh character, meaning that the profile picture I now use is 2-year-old character from sophomore 3D graphics and animation class. Cast acquired a bird. That'll get your finger scratched. Thanks, Nox. Also, Nox is there.
Hey, Nox.
Hey, Nox.
For creating an OC,
I don't know. Sure, whatever you like.
No, combine. Yeah, what interests you? Are you trying to reflect yourself or someone you know, or just trying to come up with something completely separate that's, you know, just made up of things you like or appreciate aesthetically or symbolically, or just I don't know, free associate, like write down some adjectives, some words, and
yeah, it's for you. It's not like a job.
And,
so
yeah, it's, you just take it. Yeah, you could approach it however you like. It's like if it's a anthropomorphic animal or something, or just a straight up animal, or a human or elf or whatever. Just I mean, just yeah, I don't know, or a combination of those things, or a dragon, or even just like write down a bunch of nouns and adjectives and pick some things out and see what you can think of, like how you might combine them into a character. Make it fun. Madison says, I found out that the character Mitzi and I share the same birthday. Only difference is I was born in 2003. Oh, cool.
I'd say for making a character, whatever you want to write/draw over and over again. Start there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just making a one-time thing. In which case, maybe you just want to explore some design.
I mean, you can.
I don't know.
Yeah,
you can do that.
You can make an OC and then find you're not that interested in it and just like move on.
Yeah.
There's no like waste material.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, worst case, you just don't
imagination.
really revisit it, but you still have that character. It's if you put it on paper, it's yours. So. Lost Unicorn says, wait a minute, does the OG Coca-Cola magic powder exist in this universe? No, by the 20s, Coca-Cola did not have cocaine in it anymore. Sadly, that was very early Coke, and that was, yeah, before the 1920s.
Sadly.
Yeah.
For Zib, maybe. He's got some of that old Coke. Like, hey, Zib, I got some of that old-fashioned Coke. You want some? Just like when we were like, oh yeah, Mexican Coke. That's the good shit.
Zib doesn't go for the uppers, really. He needs to. He's already like he's actually a high anxiety person. He needs the sedative.
I need to grab him now. You can't say this in front of me, Tracy, because then I'm just gonna sit here like, oh, I feel this. Like, I know what it's like to have always feel like stressed out with anxiety that you gotta look for the stuff to calm you down. It's a misery almost every day. It's like why I don't like to come in certain calls because I'm always get cold feet, or why I start yelling and punching people because I'm all like, this is the only source of interaction I know how to do without freaking out.
Yeah.
It's not fun. And to anyone who's wondering what anxiety feels like, just imagine if you ever remember going to school. To anyone who probably, I guess, has or anything, or getting in trouble, basically, and you know that you're going to, like, get yourself, like, in even worse trouble when whoever is authoritative comes home to find out what you did wrong. But you gotta wait the entire day for it to happen? It's that. That's
anxiety
what I compare it to.
is the ugly voice in my head that tells me I suck, and every reason that it can find that might be true, even if it's not very rational, it will say it, and that sucks.
It's always just some weird sense of doubt, worry, or like the worst thing is bound to come, even anxiety, though nothing is going to happen.
What you were describing, like the anxiety is the feeling when someone texts you and says, we need to talk, and then you don't hear back from them for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
And it might not be serious, or it might be really serious, and so you have 2 hours of living with, what did I do?
Yeah, it's the worst feeling. And now that I know Zib goes through that, I'm gonna grab him so he's both to sit down.
That's why he do the drugs, he self-medicates. That's what's going on.
That's why. Yeah, well, he's also cognizant of the fact that just like Mitzi, he carries himself in a way that says, yeah, I'm real cool, but he's not at all cool. He's not,
well, Tracy, you gave me a new reason to keep drawing Zib now. Well, anyways,
Zib has anxiety. I was actually, I remember we were watching that video of Tom Waits in that interview, and I was just like, the way he is holding himself and using his hands and stuff, he's clearly a very anxious person.
He's anxious, right? Yeah, but it comes across as cool in some way, like kind of eccentric cool, but it's really like he's nervous.
Yeah. It's like, to me, that like, he screams non-neurotypical person struggling to figure out what he's supposed to do with himself, like suddenly given
what
all
am I
this
supposed
attention.
to do with my hands? Let me light another cigarette.
This is all I know how to do, and like it comes across as kind of like goofy charming because that happens to be like the acceptable mien of the time, but if you think about like a real person taken out of like an interview situation, like one might ask also is like, what is a more relaxed Tom Waits then seem like? And I guess that would be older him when he's like super used to this and just like boring. Yeah. He's bored by it. But then he's also sort of a different person at the same time then. But yeah, it's a really interesting video, that interview with him with what's his face? With some guy.
Oh, it was like, was it Dick Cavett or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, the way he's just like holding himself and stuff, like when we were talking about how Zib moves and trying to picture that, and you mentioned young Tom Waits, and we started digging and found that video, and I was like, just really good. The man was like basically like a dog-eared pack of playing cards stacked on top of each other.
Oh, it was some Australian guy that was
yes. I was like, I wanted to say British, but no, it's just that I can't tell the difference between accents. Yeah. So even finding like somebody who kind of had that sort of sound to their voice, that was a challenge. It was I remember you said, Tracy, that like you had like quite a few good auditions, but they were like a little too sarcastic to your liking, which is funny because it's like he's a very sarcastic guy, but finding like sarcastic but sincere at the same time is a weird thread to pass through a needle.
Sort of a there's like there's
subtlety,
some authenticity behind it. That's like the sarcasm is a cover for maybe feeling a little too intensely about anything, and then just covering it up by being, I don't care.
I'm too cool. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. But yeah, I like Zib because he's very relatable, very, very relatable. Also, he's made of good shapes. I like triangles.
Madison Rousseau says, I didn't know Ash Wagner is a bearded lady and a cabaret performer, which I find very cool since I love stuff like that. I'm planning to do cabaret and I love her character Mitzi. Cool. Yeah, Ash is awesome. Ash is a very interesting person.
I think she's off at an audition today, maybe? Otherwise, I'd say, Ash, get over here. I'm animating your girl. She loves Mitzi so much. It meant a lot to her. Yeah. Ash, it gets very, very into, like, anything she plays. She does a lot of, like, RP. Like, she's done D&D and stuff, but she writes a lot. And she just loves writing, drawing characters, and really, like, imagining their depth and stuff. She's really fun to write with, too. She's one of my favorite RP partners. Whenever I do it. I love animating subtleties in characters. Actually, that's one reason I like animating Rocky, is that despite what you think, at least when I'm animating him and how I try to get people to go about him, there's actually supposed to be a lot of subtleties there. Like, he has a shitload of micro expressions. It's supposed to, like, just feel like there's a lot of thoughts going on there at the same time. This is what I was looking for in Performer even, was like somebody who could take Goofy and give it like this element of sincerity. This is Toon Boom. That's what I'm animating in. What character mannerisms are the hardest to animate? Not really mannerisms. It's more like if you're doing walk cycles are in general some of the hardest stuff that you'll have to animate because everything is moving and you still need to get personality across. And right now I'm doing a very difficult walk cycle, which is character walking down the stairs. Silly walks. It reminds me, like, you knew I was gonna grow up to be an animator when I watched 101 Dalmatians, and the entire sequence where Pongo is just, like, looking at the dogs with their ladies, and, like, how each of them have a different design and they all walk differently. And I was like, oh, this is so cool! Just, like, that sequence just charmed the fuck out of me. That alone was a big reason I love 101 Dalmatians. Pongo ogles the ladies sequence. How's that looking, Tracy? She's got a certain rhythm to her now.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, my initial pass on this walk down the stairs I was not super happy with. It's like, this is too stiff. Nah. I knew it'd end up, like, correcting the hell out of it, so... using this technique instead. Where I think about, like, just, like, joints and sticks. And just start building off of that.
Katie said, Mitzi will walk down the stairs with more attitude and style than I ever will.
I was a little apprehensive about doing this shot, honestly, because I didn't see Mitzi as, like, a strong character for me, but I'm like, wait. I like animating Swish, though, and this character is almost entirely Swish, so...
Sergio B. Cabrera says, plan to release a movie or series of these fascinating, beautiful characters. Well, first, thanks. It's a short film that's coming out based on the comic by the same name. Madison says, since I'm going to a carnival next week in Indiana, what's your favorite attractions? For me, I love the haunted houses and freak shows, but I don't support the ones that show abuse. Yeah, freak shows have turned into something quite a bit different from what they used to be. It's all about, like,
it's more like feats of human ingenuity and performance now. It's not just, look at this guy with his one weird arm.
Right, it's really not about that anymore, but yeah. It's like, you know, sword swallowers and fire swallowers.
Yeah. Like, there used to be a freak show on Venice Beach, and they did have people who, like, had various physical differences. Like, Ash frequently got mistaken for the bearded lady who worked there, because people would see a bearded lady and they'd just be like, oh, it must be that person. And it's like, no, that's a different person. They look like different people, but they're just, nah. So, but even so, they all were performers as well. Like, it's just simply being different is not the reason to be in a freak show. You have to enjoy and want to do performance, and you know, it's more competitive than that.
Dragonflower says, if you could choose a couple of flowers for Victor, what would they be? I need it for a fan art reason.
Ooh, that's a cool question.
A Victor flower. Something hardy and probably like a wildflower that not like something that's been like cultivated and manually hybridized and to achieve a certain thing, just something that grows in a field somewhere. Maybe like a cornflower or something, kind of like a
I feel like a blue flower would definitely suit him. Something about blue.
Yeah, kind of a not a super vibrant blue, but just like a practical blue. A practical flower. A corpse flower. Good God. It blooms only once every, 9 years or something ridiculous thing like that, and it smells awful. Yeah. Thanks, Nox. AZ says, how many animators do you currently have? If you do hire animators, what kind of experience and pay comes with it? I think in total we've hired about 60 animators / cleanup people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overlap there, so it's... I mean... but I would say, like, most of them did just a couple of scenes and then, went on their way. Some have been far more consistently active on the project. Some like they just had to. Some are they're like in school or they have other jobs they're doing at the same time, and so they can contribute a little bit and then they have to go. It's not like we're like
nothing
hiring
untoward.
and firing anyone or anything.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's just like people because it's a freelance thing. It's like they come and go as they please, basically. There's like a cat flap of just animators coming in and leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, pay is by the second, not the second of like work, but second of animation. And each second is, because we animate on twos, it's usually about 12 drawings, sometimes less, sometimes a little more.
Sometimes they animate on threes or even fours. So they're paid per second of animation, which comes out to a certain amount per frame. And regardless of how many actual drawings they do, they are paid per second. So
it's like usually 12 at the most, and then
yeah, I tell them do not give me ones, do not, and I tell them like you can work on threes, that's fine. Like there's only a few circumstances where I'm gonna ask for twos. Then they go and they blow shit out of the water anyway, because they're all like, I'm gonna have the most special shot, and I'm like, oh, you proud motherfuckers. They're
all high achievers.
Yeah. I have to tell them frequently, I'm like, here's how to save time. They're very, very high energy.
Wireframe really wants me to show you guys this liquid lipstick I did. There you go, some student chat. Actually, it's coral red.
Very nice. Classic color.
Yeah.
Not bad, Zoo.
Cats with lipstick.
Yeah.
Should be the alternate name to Lackadaisy. Cats with lipstick.
Betterfully Gal says, are you still looking for student animators? No, I mean, we weren't, like, explicitly ever looking for student animators, just, like, a lot of them just happened to be also in school. If we do have a need for more animators, we'll put out a call, but I doubt that'll happen between now and release.
What am I working on right now? A cartoon. This cat works down the stairs. And she looks good doing it. Time to delete things. Don't need that. Don't need that. It's not even a good drawing of her.
Joe Kaha says, what are you working on right now? I am working on patron art right now. I have about 4 billion pieces of artwork I need to finish this week, and it's already Thursday. Oh.
Right now, Missy is like half just a pair of sexy legs just going down the steps. Leg.
Aren't you another zip pick? Put the lip emotion. Nude. I said I drew another zip picture and I posted there, and I went back and I saw that there was like lips on the zip I drew. Ow. Damn it. Have I seen the teaser for Encanto? Yes. Yeah. I like the, it looks like it has some pretty strong art direction currently. I like the look of the main character girl. Like, she looks different. She wears, like, interesting fabric that's not just all one color. She is anything but monochromatic, and I like that. You can kind of get a sense of her personality just looking at her. Ow, ow, ow. A second, my ears. The earbuds are starting to get to me. I'll switch to my other headphones. There we go. Now I can hear. I like how these wireless buds, but at the same time, like, it's kind of can hurt my ears if I wear them for too long. Yeah, those tile animations were really interesting. I was like, that's an interesting thought. Oh.
Actually, get a little bit peppier music. Give myself some energy. Oh my god. It's getting hot. I'm starting to get sticky. At this point, it's getting harder to work. So my brain's like, no. Okay, let's see. Do the clavicles, shoulder region next. Hello. Who's that?
It's Nox.
Hey, Nox.
Hey.
What's up?
I figured I'd pop in for the tail end of the stream since I assume you guys are going to be going for a little bit longer.
Just a little bit. See if I can't get some of this her arm done. Arms. Just a little bit.
Cariglio says, "Happy birthday, may all your cake adjacent wishes come true." Thanks. My birthday is still like a month off, so but thank you. Aaron Kennedy says, "I hear a pigeon."
Oh yeah, there's pigeons here. Yeah. We have an aviary full of them.
Always have to remember to switch YouTube to live chat. I don't know why it always...
I don't know why it defaults to, and I don't even really know what that means, or like...
Yeah, what is
It
top
just
chat anyway?
It just arbitrarily decides what the most relevant posts are and filters out all the others. I don't know how it works.
Frequently nothing changes when I switch from one to the other, so...
Yeah. Don't get it.
Or sometimes you switch from one to the other and there's like 5 messages meant toward you.
Yeah. ask you to try to be smart, YouTube. Stop it.
YouTube, you're not smart. Don't pretend.
You're not smart. Stop acting like yeah. Stop pretending you're smart.
It'd at least default you to live chat if you're registered as a mod.
Yeah.
Important, but I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose if you have a much more active chat and it's just like spamming messages, maybe you need that in order to read anything. Because if it's just like scrolling by so fast you can't even read it, it's just... But why it would default to that, because most people don't have that enormous of an audience. I don't know.
Hey Tracy, could you check your DMs?
I could.
Thanks.
Okay, I think we're probably gonna want to use a sans serif font to save space there. So, and you gotta like probably squish down the vertical space between lines. It's gonna take some like text editing. There's like a graphic design element to this and you'll want to like nudge all of that down a bit further. So you look at like how other gravestones are proportioned, where it's got a name at the top and then text underneath it. Like, pay attention to the distance between those things. And I think to make it legible and to give ourselves some more room, pick a font that doesn't have serifs, so those little thingies on the ends of the letters. Like, let me see. I think
the thing that I have the issue with is like the way that the stone is, like it. I don't know if it's engraved or like pushed back.
So you can change it. You can change the.
Yeah.
It's got like a. Yeah, it's got like that box in which everything's supposed to fit, but you can change the size of that. You can like mess with it. You don't have to keep it exactly like. As long as the overall shape of the stone doesn't change, but like the face of it can be whatever you need it to be to fit.
Oh, can I just like flatten it? Because if that's the thing, if I could just flatten it,
flatten that out. Yeah,
get rid of
get rid of all that.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, get rid of it. It's fine. It can just be flat. It's just getting in the way. And I think overall we'll just want the smaller text to just be darker, because it'd be such a narrow engravement that like the engraving is so, what's carved into the stone would be narrow enough that light wouldn't really get in there so much as with the broader letters, like where you can see the flat surface of the interior of the letter. Like in these cases, it would look much like the thinner text would look darker because you wouldn't see that surface really. Do you know what I mean?
I can darken. I can darken like the normal one because I'm doing the I can just darken it. If the case is that I can just flatten it out, then I can probably like fix up like the brightness and darkness of this. The only thing I was just freaking out about was like, how am I supposed to get the text all over the stone when the stone doesn't want to work?
Yeah, just flatten it. Just do that first, and then.
Yeah, that I can do, because if that's the case, then I won't even have to worry about the text anymore. I can do whatever I need with the text because it can fit on here.
Right. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, because the thing that I was worried about when I started putting, like, you know how I put, like, little edge shines or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do that without it all looking like it was just melted all together. It was hard to tell what was going on.
Right. So, yeah, it's anything inside the stone. Like, the exterior of the stone, don't change the shape of it, because we don't want to have to, like, do a bunch of repainting in the background art, but the surface of the stone, that's all your playground. You can do whatever you need.
Yeah, because like I just wanted to make sure that the words were like at least readable for like what I needed to do.
Right.
So I was like, before I continue on anywhere, because I'm used to the big words, but now I gotta work with these little baby boys. I'm like, how am I supposed to work with it?
Little baby.
This little baby. I'm gonna move the cookies, so I'm gonna have some cookies. I'm also gonna move the Chinese food. I'm just hungry. I think that's what I am.
Well, go eat.
I would like some Chinese food.
I am. I have cookies.
I wish I had Chinese food.
So do I.
Ordered Indian, to be honest.
Indian's really good too.
I'll be right back.
Does your treat stream still work, Fable?
Yeah, but if what you're offering is to what I think you are, probably better to just Ko-fi me, because treat stream is like
Sure.
frustrating often.
Hand it over. Hand over your coffee right now.
It's I actually have it linked in the stream. It's ko-fi.com/fablepaint. It's in the description.
Will $25 do you good?
You guys don't have to do that.
I got it, Kaz. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know, but there's nothing wrong with having extra money. Not.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah, take our money.
Mizzy asks if anybody has played Mario Kart DS. I have not.
Yeah, a while ago. I forget if I even had the game myself. Sometimes friends would play it.
Yeah, I kind of dropped off Mario Kart after N64.
There you go.
Thank you.
I agree with you.
Thanks. You didn't have to do it that, but thanks.
I didn't have to, but I wanted to.
Yep.
Look, there I am right there, Fizzle. I had $25. Alright, Knox, now you do yours.
He already
I
did.
should have already
I think, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry,
Why am I
Kaz.
so alone on the screen?
I don't know, because it's messed up. Streamlabs sometimes just is like, I don't care. Thanks, Tracy.
Alright.
Yeah.
The goal is to feed Fable, not to get notifications. So.
I mean, that could be your
all
goal. If that's a motivating factor.
I just thought my little name was just gonna stay up there all like the entire stream. I was like, wait, I need Knox there for a second. Hold on. Anyway, get yourself something yummy.
Thanks.
Lami Rez says, "Wow, they can draw without that previous transparent layer. So cool." The onion skin they meant.
Yeah. Yeah, I typically don't use the onion skin unless I'm doing like really tight in-betweens. Because it's just a distraction to me.
Good.
Yeah.
probably spend less time bullying Engraves in chat. How are you doing?
What?
How are you doing, Kaz?
I'm just watching you bully Toon in the chat. And I'm eating cookies. And I'm working. What about you?
Just finished my work. I'm waiting for food and bullying Tomb, obviously.
Wow. Yeah, you know, it's kind of fair game. You know, Toon was planning on doing all these evil, dastardly plans while I'm just sitting here.
She keeps saying she's gonna put me in a jar. I feel like I'm allowed to, like, get back at her.
What cookies? I'm eating squashmallow confetti cream mini sandwich cookies. It's okay.
Yummy.
But yeah, Toon's all like, oh, one of these days, Kaz, I'll get you back. Ooh, and you're like, oh.
You don't seem like you would fit in a jar.
I objectively wouldn't, but...
I mean, Newt I can understand, but...
I mean... real life Newt...
No, real life Newt is taller than everybody.
Yeah.
He might be the tallest team member.
Yeah.
He's not taller than me.
He is, but okay.
I hate that silence so much. I really hate it.
We'll grant that you have a bigger aura.
Well, he's not, Toon. You don't know that.
I need a system so that whenever you feel sorry for one of these characters like Mitzi, their kill count appears above their head or something.
Their criminal record appears above their head.
Yeah. It's very easy to forget that Mitzi is a literal crime boss, but I guess that's kind of the point of the character, or one of the aspects of the character.
And this is why I'm in love with Zib and Mordecai. They're both innocent. They have no kill counts, no criminal records. Both clean.
Mordecai.
Right.
Totally innocent in all of this. Just
innocent. No numbers whatsoever.
Just a bystander.
No.
Well, Katie's got the right idea. Zib is the only one we're allowed to feel sorry for, really. And Mordecai, he's also very innocent.
I don't know, I feel a little bad for Virgil.
Fitzy says, I thought she just ran the speakeasy and that's it. That's what the crime boss does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop ruining our moment. Don't you want to protect our lad?
She tells people take him out, and then leaves it up to them to decide what that means.
What that means. Speaks in vague idioms about, like...
Oh my god.
Take
He's
care
doing all
of
this
it.
in self-defense.
Self-defense of her business. Business defense.
I was watching Newt stream yesterday, and he's starting to have those idioms. It's funny. Is
Oh, really? Like,
they need to get rid of some creature in their game, so he says, "Hey, we have a friend in front of us. Do you want to do your thing?"
take out the trash. There's a Mitchell and Webb skit that made fun of that. Like, this supervillain guy is trying to get his henchman to kill somebody, but he keeps using vague idioms about, like, get rid of him, um, and that sort of thing. And they can't figure out what he's trying to tell them to do.
Yep.
Because he won't just directly say, like, just murder them, please. I need to go find it now.
That kid says, "Oh, no, I meant take him out on a date, you weirdo." I'm sure that must have happened in criminal history where the boss actually wanted him to do something innocuous and he ended up getting somebody killed accidentally.
How often has that happened at the Lackadaisy, I wonder?
Imagine someone calling him a weirdo for killing someone. Not insane or crazy.
I mean, if the guy's your personal hitman, I don't think you'd want to call him insane for doing his job, even if he does it on the wrong person.
Leave him a nasty Yelp review instead.
Mm-hmm. That would be funny. Leave a Yelp review on someone implying they suck as a hitman.
There, that feels better. How Atlas got killed. Mitzi wanted to take him out on a date and someone took it too far. Thanks, Ghostly.
Moonflood Studio says, "I'm gonna be honest. I first found out about these guys and characters from pictures I saw on Pinterest. I've been obsessed ever since."
Oh, wonderful. You found your way back to us, so...
That'll do it.
Yeah. Pinterest did something?
Yeah. I avoid the site since even its core function requires me to create a name and log in to be able to see pictures, so I'm like, it's a little pointless.
Okay, I found it. It's in streaming chat.
Found what?
The skit I was talking about from, like, the topic from, like, 10 minutes ago that no one remembers.
Oh.
Sorry.
Let's see. I'll take a look. Needlessly ambiguous terms.
Of course.
Oh my god, the ending though. The ending.
Here, I'll link it in here.
Okay.
I guess it's not inappropriate for.
No,
I mean, towards the end, it's an adult topic, but
It's an adult topic, yeah. If you're
I would
under 13,
warn.
don't watch it. Not supposed to be children here, anyways.
It wouldn't pass on lag accord, but you guys do what you want with the streams, I suppose.
Hey Tracy,
Yes.
I'm gonna call Mom. Doom asks, hey Tracy, do you have any do any of your characters have any hobbies?
Do they have hobbies? I mean, aside from crime.
Is crime
What?
a hobby?
Door over your window? Oh right. What do you mean?
What's happening?
My mom was asking me why I opened the window.
Oh.
Go ahead, you can continue.
Yeah, they do. Mitzi is a amateur photographer. I mean,
Still?
Huh?
Still? Does she still have that camera?
Well, she still has a camera. I don't think she's taking a lot of pictures right now because she doesn't really want to remember, like, these particular moments. She's, like, trying to get back to something that she used to take photos of, you know. But, I guess she feels like it's some kind of, like, in-between spot where she has to, like, work to get there.
Ivy's hobby of collecting C-named boyfriends is very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Ivy loves dancing. She evidently likes to read P.G. Wodehouse to Victor, who I'm sure doesn't appreciate it at all, or doesn't get it. Not sure Jeeves and Worcester would be his cup of tea. I mean, Rocky, like, writes poetry in his head, evidently.
You know, if he wrote poetry on paper, he might make himself someone to recall.
Freckle. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's it. He should write his poetry on paper and have other people see what he's got going on.
Sometimes he writes it on the wall in lipstick too. I don't know, but
Releasing it from his head with a thresher is clearly more productive, anyways.
Yeah. Freckle is like into baseball and like baseball statistics and things like that. He's just, I don't know.
Yeah, he likes to do handyman stuff also.
Yeah,
right?
he's also a little Mr. Fix-It.
Mordecai likes math. That's a hobby.
He does, yeah.
I suck at math.
Mordecai's mostly, like, yeah, he definitely has, you know, interests in things like I've spoken about, how he'd be interested in, like, architecture with a purpose, or, like, or building things with purpose. Like, the art of that, like, not so much art for the sake of art, but art with purpose. Like, architecture, shipbuilding, things like that would fascinate him. But he's just kind of so career, quote-unquote, focused that, like, he spends most of his time, you know, figuring out how to pick locks and you know, practicing his shooting, his aim, and everything.
His resume has to be very his crime portfolio has to be very strong.
Crime folio, yes.
Yes.
I'm glad I asked, are there any artist characters?
Are there any artists? I mean,
many of them, really.
Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of more of like the more theatrical and musical than like fine arts, but
Rocky can draw.
Yeah.
Don't forget that Rocky can draw.
He can draw. He's competent as a drawer, yeah. Not practiced, but
Still adorable.
yeah.
Even his little comics are pretty funny.
There's one prominent visual artist character, which is Tracy Marmoset, which is the best character.
Oh, I hate that character.
Tracy, no. Hey, look,
I think I'm gonna write that one out of the story.
Tracy, look in streaming chat.
Tracy Marmoset had to
Look in streaming.
Go back to her people.
go back to her.
You've
people.
already had her like named with an iron.
Yeah. No, my eyeballs. Stop. They're gonna catch on fire.
I love Tracy Marmoset.
Nico does fishing. Yeah, Nico like trying to catch catfish with his hands.
Oh, he's a noodler.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be kind of like Steve Irwin-ish, I guess, just like
You guys want to know my
alligators
favorite part of the comic? You guys want to know my favorite part of the comic?
What?
There was this one part where Mordecai called Toom his favorite PogChamp. That was my favorite part. And Toom came to me saying, Kaz, did you see this? And I was like, what? And they were all like, Mordecai said I'm his PogChamp and I'm so happy and I love it. And I'm like, oh wow, that's great for you, Toom. I'm so happy for you. And now Toom's like every single day they come to me.
I like how, like, 20 years in the future, these super fans are going to come back to listen to this old development stuff and be like,
What? Yeah. These obtuse streams where it's like, the fuck are they talking about? Who's Toon?
Well, they'll need
What
something to
Tracy
distract them from
Marmoset?
the mega global warming crisis. Will be
The new
living
Krakatoa
at that
that's
point.
around the corner for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
What was up with that last night?
I don't know. I think
Gonna
they
sit
just
here.
really wanted to talk about one thing, and I'm trying to talk about another one, and we could not.
They were
come to a
very
meeting of the
insistent
minds, so-
on having a different conversation than you were trying to have. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, fair. It's an interesting topic, but also not what I was writing. so.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is an interesting and important topic, but not what I was currently talking about. So, I think a lot of the internet is just that. It's like, that's very interesting, but not what I was thinking about. Okay. Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need
that
to talk
little
about it, though.
discussion you guys are having.
Yeah.
Reminds me a bit of the first Discord I joined, where I didn't last very long because it was a law Discord, and people in law Discords liked to impress each other.
Like to what?
Impress each other with legal blathering.
Oh, goody.
They just speak legalese
So-
for fun.
No, I meant more like they like to talk over each other with their opinions.
Yes. One-upmanship, I suppose.
It seems like an okay place. I'm just being harsh on it. Don't worry about it, gang. Also, Nico, if it's unclear to you, the reason we're annoying Toom is because she's our friend. It's
Yeah.
not a rudeness thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't talk shit about people that.
No,
our
it's
friends,
affectionate
so-
bullying. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Toom are good buddies. No, trust me. Like, nah, I don't do that type of stuff. Like, no, me and Toom are good buddies. Speaking of which, Toom, I remember you saying something about you liking the word PogChamp. If you could just come to me and talk to me about that whole entire stuff, well, I'm happy to talk to you about it. Because, I'm always there and ready to hear what you got to say, especially when it starts with the POG and ends with champ, as good friends do. Just thought I'd remind you, like, we're good friends, right?
Is Discord speeding Kaz up, or is it just me?
Kaz
No,
is
that's just how I
Kaz up.
talk.
Occasionally, yes, actually. I have heard it do that. It will do that with folks occasionally if the connection is not terribly good. Sometimes it'll, like, actually try to catch up. So, like, a person will be, like, slightly faster than they normally are. And not because they were actually talking that way. And it's hard to notice unless you're chatting with someone who normally speaks very, very slowly. Who would not just suddenly speed up their voice. But yes, Discord does do that. It is a bit weird.
I just talk very fast.
You do.
Yeah. But this was faster than usual, so I do believe it was Discord.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was me. I'm fast.
Okay.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast, Knots. Don't you get it? Don't you understand? You gotta go fast. Have you run fast before? Well, come here.
Who wants to draw Kaz's Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, that's right. I'm fast now.
Yeah, we do not tease people who we don't personally know who think it's funny. Because it's not funny to bully people who aren't also.
Yeah, no, we would not.
That's not cool.
Do that if it was like.
No.
Yeah, that's.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just some rando. Also,
I'm
they've
just
been
loud and
sticking their
violent.
community manager on sticks and cooking them, so.
Yeah. They were very good newt sticks, though. The looks of it.
Yeah.
Little gummy newts.
I definitely want to taste. I would like.
Oh,
nibble.
Toom, stop yelling at work. I know it's so hard to be considered like an epic poggers champion, but like, Toom.
Kaz, you're starting to hurt me now.
The
it's
we
okay,
also,
Knox.
if someone was like legitimately being upset and stuff in chat, we would either A, handle it, or B, yeah, we don't give attention to people who are just being, if they're being douchebags just to be douchebags, because they're like, well, this is to get attention, then we don't give them any mind. Like, we don't people don't get rewarded for that. So.
They get a good swift punch in the face from me.
Not literally, though.
Not literally, though. I can't punch
Yeah.
anyone in the face. I'm too small.
No.
But you get the idea. I'm violent.
Tracy, apparently you're going to be sent cursed art from Kaz that Chumi was blackmailing her with.
Oh no.
What? No, I'm not. Wait, are you trying to get back at me? Oh, wait, I'm not going to fall for this. I'll even double down and say, yeah, I will. I will send you some cursed stuff. And it'll just be like people grabbing cake disgusting like. That's right, Toom. That's right. You can't do that. You can't do this to me. I'm a winner. I always win. Like this. Pug Champions the third Toom. I will draw Mordecai grabbing you and calling you his delightful Pug champ.
I lost the thread of this particular intrigue here. There's blackmail material and something about cake and PogChamps and
I don't know either. Katie's asking what's happening. It's Toomey / Kaz shenanigans are bleeding into the regular streams now is what's happening.
No, it's not bleeding.
So what is it then, osmosis?
I don't know what.
bleeding rainbows and cake frosting.
Yeah. Tracy, what would you do if someone ran inside of your house unprompted and handed you peanut butter? Like a fistful of just unwrapped peanut butter. What would you... I'm sorry, butter, just regular butter, not peanut butter, just butter. What would you do?
I'm sure it would make a difference if they ran in my house and like handed me a fistful of butter or peanut butter. I'd probably react much the same way, which is to be surprised and annoyed.
Is this one of those Kaz roleplay sessions I keep hearing about?
Potentially.
Oh, Nox, did you never go through it before?
No, you've not done the roleplay before? Oh my. I'm gonna have to send you out to get...
You've never went through my hypothetical before?
No, I probably have not.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. I see you, Katie.
Dragonflower asks, if Lackadaisy wasn't set in the 20s, is there another historical time place that you would have found interesting to write in?
I mean, every time period is interesting in its own ways. I think she could find interesting things to write about in any setting, but yeah, like a long time ago, like way early on, I briefly considered setting it in the 40s, just after World War II, but then I didn't.
That was cancer times, even, right?
It was what?
I guess those times were a lot more tense. The Cold War starting and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the world had been shaken by massive fallout and nuclear weaponry. I mean, A-bombs, you know. But I mean, World War I was similarly like traumatic for the world, and then there was a pandemic, and then there was like this financial boom, and but also like extreme disparity between the rich and the poor. And of course the economic bubble was going to burst at the end of the decade, so and that happened, and that was also tumultuous. So I mean, yeah, I mean, similarly, just crazy times. It's always crazy times, I guess. Just
how much? It's just like, how well do you know about it? How many people know about it?
Yeah. Ralston wants to know what poggers means. I'm not sure I know
it's
how to answer
some Twitch thing. There was like just a face called poggers where just got started being used affectionately by kids, basically. Yet another phrase in the lexicon of ways of saying great or cool or neat.
Yep.
Like, that's pretty
first
common.
ones to make me actually feel old. Tracy, I've been told to tell you to check your DMs.
Oh. Okay.
What are you doing?
We share, I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay. I share.
What happened?
You're about to find out.
What? Oh no!
Although I
I'm
suspect
now.
you know.
I know about what? I don't!
It's T-Pose Mordecai.
Oh, where?
Is that the word no written in your mouth?
Where are you looking?
Streaming chat.
Streaming chat.
Okay. Everything's working so slow.
Oh, it's two. I see. Okay.
Oh, right. I forgot that drawing I did. And Toon screaming, no.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me. Yeah, I did that. That was me. That was me. And Toon screaming, no. Tracy?
Mm-hmm.
Is Toon just sending you these things? Is she sending you these things?
Sure.
The two Mordecai, did she send them to you? Where'd you get them from? Was it from Knox?
What? Why would I hold on to both?
Some mysterious unknown person just came to my door and put a little briefcase on my doorstep. And
it was Toon, wasn't it? Kaz posted zip and didn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We had an agreement of compromise. Look, I forgot. I'm sorry. You can literally draw the most cursed zip and send it to me, and I'll have to just accept it, please. I'll accept it. I'll accept my fate. I'll accept my punishment. The cursed zip you can ever think of. He can be like, I don't know. He could look like a turkey. Yeah. I don't know. Just, you can go ahead, man. I deserve that one.
Now,
Blue Sword, it is Toon Boom. Joe Plains says, can you draw a wireframe animation on the first layer and then add more detail on another layer and turn off the first one?
I mean, in a way, that is what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. It's the reason why there's all the different colors in there, too, is to distinguish,
what is what?
So I can, see how different shapes are tracking with one another.
Francis, I get it. I'm sorry. Stop yelling at me.
the fun thing with Tomb is that because she's not been around that long, she hasn't yet found a lot of the older blackmail material you can spring on Kaz.
What?
What? What older stuff?
Yeah.
I said, no, don't say yeah. What do you mean? What older stuff?
Like this from Schmoopy.
Oh, yeah, me getting hit by a car.
By Cars Mordecai.
By car Mordecai, because everyone thought I was... Cars, the movie. It's Toon Boom. To anyone who's curious, it's Toon Boom that they are using to animate. It's Toon Boom.
All the colors, she looks like she's going to
she's
clown
Joker.
fashion show.
You know?
Yeah, it's the Joker.
It's the new Harley Quinn. The one that doesn't put up with Joker's shit.
Ralston says, funny story, the way I came to read the comic was on a random Twitter page, and they had a picture of Mitzi, and I was curious who she was, and I find out she was a main character. Cool.
I have to think if Mitzi and Rocky are a nice role reversal for Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. It's like, what if Harley Quinn and Joker were one person and not the crime boss?
Oh.
As manic as Joker, as desperate as Quinn. With their powers combined, you have one fucked up cat.
They in an abusive relationship with themselves.
I think one could describe Rocky as something like that, yeah. He has a death wish, so...
When you are your own worst enemy. Yeah, I guess.
What's his death wish? What?
It just means he's maybe slightly less concerned with mortality than he should be.
Oh.
Oh my god, that Rocky that Sega just posted. He's sad. He's a mess.
Where was this?
Oh, it's in the crew section.
Oh.
Since it's a question you get brought up fairly regularly, couldn't you add a banner saying it's Toon Boom? Maybe, but I don't want to put in the effort right now.
We do have a few questions put aside for the day we ever need to do an FAQ or something, but... Yeah.
Wondering if I should call it stops now, because it's like, it's almost 3, it's getting really hot. I gotta take my siesta.
I mean, you've been going for 4 hours, I think, right?
More than that. Pretty sure. Let's see, how long have we been going? How long has it been, guys? When did I start?
You started early this morning, didn't you?
It's been
towards the noon.
Let's see.
It was about 1 my time. So 11 your time, I think.
Analytics. Yeah, that was at 11 my time, so it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, like at least 4 hours. 4 hours, and I got the smithy roughed out pretty good. Well, it's not too bad. I think she just needs to be tied down now, pretty much. As goofy as all the colors look, it's like it's good to see how that's gonna look once it's put together. Colors really help. That's got a good rhythm now. I like that. That works for me. This works. Okay. Neat. Alright, I'm gonna call it stops.
No, you gotta help me. Fable, they put me in a jar.
No, you got yourself into this mess. You have to get yourself out. No.
Look at my stupid little face.
No. You gotta live with the consequences of your actions. You pick fights, you can't finish them, that's what happens. Anyway, if you guys are down for more of the nonsense, whatever they're chatting about, there is a Discord for Lackadaisy. It's just discord.gg/Lackadaisy. That's Lackadaisy.
Link is in chat.
SY, excuse me. Yeah, link is in chat. There you go. Come join, and maybe you can participate in some shenanigans too. It's a nice community. You can see what they're screaming about.
Anyone who goes there that's new is getting punched by me. That's just tradition.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
But I currently can't. I'm in a jar.
Alright, that's it. Everybody say goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.